they're so real. Already know exactly how you feel. See the head, not like seeing a steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, nobody made us, and no one can take this 'cause we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people. Don't mess with this.
Test, 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 test. Test, there's a green light. There's a green light. That could be something good. I don't know. Is it, though? Let me know the minute you guys hear anything at all. If you do, I assume. Anything at all. Just let me know. Let me know if you hear something. Can you hear anything? Let's see. Can everybody hear now? Just let me know in comments if you can hear me, and we'll go again. All right. So, past couple days have been quite the challenge. Rich should be here in a minute. As fate would have it, we've been out 2 days, couldn't get on, and Rich would be late today of all days. But man, what a debacle the past couple days have been. Basically, Gunner had to undo everything and basically rebuild all of the connections to all of our different platforms and everything. Just it was very tedious, very difficult, very time consuming, and very frustrating for me, as you can imagine. We both, Rich and I, both sat up here yesterday and day before trying to figure out anything we could do, basically standing around looking at each other for the most part, yelling, Gunner, please. So big thank you to him for pulling it out of the ditch for us. So should be a good show today. Lots to do. Jim said wheel spin for Mr. Rockwell. Well, maybe so. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and just get into some news you can use. And I'm sure that Rich will be along here shortly, and we'll have plenty to talk about. Big news today. If you get an opportunity to get by Laura's page, wish her a happy birthday. It is her birthday today. We've been on this journey about 14 years together now, and one of the greatest humans I've ever known in my life. Really a special and unique person, and happens to be my best friend. So I'm very fortunate in that regard. Hope that all of you will wish her a happy birthday if you get an opportunity today. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. So apparently Apple is set for a big launch event next month. The tech giant sent invites to the media and analysts for September 9th. They expect Apple's going to release a new lineup of phones, as well as new Apple Watch models. According to the company, the tagline is awe-dropping. Apple plans to stream the event on its website, so probably needs to be awe-dropping. They probably want more money from you, so it better do something better. Hard for me to keep buying iPhones. They're going to have to do something really good to get me in on this one. I may wait a couple generations before I buy a newer one. If you need to know, apparently that one singer and Travis Kelce are engaged. If you didn't know, now you do. Let's see. Okay, so according to this, there's more science backing the Mediterranean diet. A Harvard study shows that older adults who combine that diet with regular exercise had 31% less risk of type 2 diabetes. The study involved 5,000 people, 55 to 75, who were overweight and had metabolic syndrome. Now, the Mediterranean diet, that's real heavy on fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, olive oil, fish, but limited amounts of meat. However, I will say I just read another study yesterday that said apparently that meat proteins actually are better for you than they thought and don't contribute to heart disease. So a little bit confused as to what's what right now. You know how science works. Everybody has their own thought, huh? Another person engaged. Michael Jackson's son Prince is engaged to his longtime girlfriend. In other news, his son's still around doing something. What's up, Darren? Good morning to you, buddy. Jim said Android all day. Yeah, you know what? If I were a computer techie type guy, I would probably go Android. I'm not. So iPhone works easy for me. It integrates with everything. It's simple, pretty easy to understand. So that's why I stay with it, not because it's cooler or better necessarily. It's just the one that I know. A city in Japan, speaking of smartphones, is thinking about a time limit on screens. The mayor of Toyaki announced the city's assembly will soon vote on an ordinance that would limit residents to 2 hours on smartphone, tablets, and computers outside of work and school. It would also recommend nightly cutoff time for kids. There wouldn't be a fine or penalty for breaking the law, but the latest survey in Japan shows average screen time for kids is 5 hours. What's up, Lori? Good morning to you. How are you? Let's get into some fun stuff here, some weird stuff here. Yeah, here you go. Drunk and angry that a neighbor parked near her yard. 48-year-old Marcia Morgan covered the offending vehicle with toilet paper, according to police, and she was dressed as a hot dog when she did. It was about 4 p.m. She was busted and charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Cops noted she was intoxicated, refused to cooperate. The next day, she pleaded no contest and was judged guilty of the charges. Fined $550, which she can work off with community service at $13 an hour. Police and court records offer no explanation of why she was dressed as a hot dog while she was on her little toilet paper festival there. Brandon said iPhone's features are always years behind. Which feature am I lacking that you have? That's what I'd like to know. What feature do you have that I don't? I mean, it may be a better camera. I don't know. I'm just curious what those are. What am I missing out on? What am I not getting by not using an Android? This is one of those stories that, France is a little bit different. Hey, Laura, good morning to you. Laura Hall. A French homeowner seized the opportunity to take her property back from squatters who hadn't paid rent in several months. Now she may go to prison for 7 years and face a fine of over $100,000. Getting your property back from squatters, as you probably know, not the easiest thing in the world. So Maria, she owns this house in France. She's been involved in a lengthy, exhausting legal battle after the squatters who had been living in her house without paying rent sued her for unlawful eviction and burglary. The story dates back to 2022 when she seized the opportunity to reclaim her property when the people living in it without paying went on vacation. So she tried reasoning with them to get them to pay rent or leave the house. They refused. Authorities refused to get involved. So, look, she changed the locks on the doors and sold some of the squatters' belongings at a yard sale to get back some of her money. That proved to be a big mistake, apparently. And she claims that when she decided to evict him herself, she thought about the debts that had piled up, including mortgage payments, and the court's decision that risk dragging on for another year was more than she could afford, she said. So she didn't have a choice in her mind. So she changed the locks, emptied the house of their possessions, sold some of them at a yard sale, and she would later learn that her actions were more serious than she had imagined, and she may have to go to prison for 7 years. Yeah, no, you're right, mistress. It's pretty bad when squatters can take your home, and it's bad when the law is on their side. Look, I get it. Nobody likes slumlords. Nobody likes those kind of people. But look, if you own a home and people aren't paying rent, you should have the ability to take your home back. End of story. I mean, it's really that simple, you know. You can't just let someone live there forever and tear it up, do anything they want to do, and you can't do anything. You're not making money. You can't pay your mortgage. I mean, come on, man. That's ridiculous to even ask that of people. But again, it's in France, not here. So could have been here, though. I mean, I've seen stories like this before. There are people now who specialize in getting squatters out legally. You hire them like a service of some kind. And I don't know what they do, but somehow they get them out. A Texas man arrested Monday for making bomb threats outside a ICE facility in Dallas. Bratton Wilkinson, 36, approached security officers about 6:30 p.m., showing him what he claimed was a detonator on his wrist and saying he had a bomb in his backpack. Well, that didn't go well. They immediately triggered a law enforcement response. Homeland Security Officer stationed outside the facility called 911. The Dallas PD dispatched the bomb squad. He was arrested on charges of terroristic threats and taken to jail. Police issued an all clear less than an hour after it began. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Texas is considering federal charges against him. Yeah, I mean, you can't just walk up to immigration centers and say you want to blow it up. Come on, man. Brandon said California is like that. Yeah, it is very difficult in California to get squatters out. Criminals have a lot more rights in California than in most places. That's for sure. All right, let's see what we got here. Now we'll save that one. Oh, this is a good story right here. During a high school football game last Friday in Alabama, referee Joey Shelnut unexpectedly collapsed on the field. He was later explained from the hospital that he had no warning signs before he passed out in the second quarter of the game. Fortunately, another referee and lifelong friend used his CPR training to resuscitate him. They've been friends for 40 years. He praised his quick thinking, said he probably would have done it for anybody, just the type of guy he is. Doctors later discovered 3 blockages in his heart. He's scheduled for a triple bypass surgery this week. Despite the scare, he's grateful to be alive, hopeful that he'll be refereeing again soon. The guy who helped him, Murphy, is called a hero, said the experience was very emotional. He's been reflecting on the irony of someone who's usually responsible for helping others suddenly needing help himself, and he credited his training and faith for acting quickly. Mistress said, I've seen where some people move in with their squatters and become the worst roommate ever. That's a pretty great way to rock it. Yeah, no, I mean, now you don't have to leave, but now I'm your roommate. Yeah, and I would be the worst. I would definitely play a lot of songs by Britney Spears or things like that, some K-pop, whatever it might be. Yeah. Brandon said, I'd go mouth to mouth for a homie. Well, I hope so, man. I mean, I think that's the right way to go. Tactical said, I had a new wheel submission yesterday, finger in a mousetrap. Yeah, that's what Andy was saying. He wants us to add that to the wheel, the old put your finger in and let the mousetrap snap on it. I was like, I don't know. I'm going to think about that one. A Texas guy rescued 2 days after he went missing in Big Bend Ranch State Park when his Jeep broke down and he tried a 12-mile hike through rugged terrain. Search crews with help from the Texas Department of Public Safety located him on Sunday, sunburned, but in good spirits. After a medical check, he was reunited with the family, and everybody celebrated that. Speaking of K-pop, the K-pop Demon Hunters juggernaut has not slowed down. The animated musical is now the most streamed movie in Netflix history. What? What the hell am I missing here? The film's vaulted over Red Notice. That was the comedy with The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, as the most watched movie on the platform. K-pop Demon Hunters has attracted 236 million total views. That's compared to almost 231 that Red Notice garnered. In case you're wondering about the movies that fill out the rest of the top 5, Taron Egerton's thriller Carry On, it was pretty good. The Leo DiCaprio satire Don't Look Up, that's all right. The Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds and Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, I don't know what this K-pop Demon Hunters is about. I assume, I don't know, is that here or is it worldwide that everybody's watching it? I don't know. T-Mac said, put your tongue in the mousetrap. That's got to be painful. No. Why would I ever do that? No, hell no. This thing produces revenue. I can't do that. Mistress said if she had a squatter, she'd eat all the groceries, pull chains from the fans, throw away the TV remotes, throw roaches in their bed. Yeah, there's lots of great things you could do that would make someone want to leave. I promise you that. Enough Michael Bolton. Anybody might leave. Great whites, as in the sharks, apparently are, I guess, depending on your feeling, it's time to travel to the waters off the coast of New England and Canada or stay away from them. New numbers show great whites are finding the cool waters off the coast of Maine especially inviting, thanks to a boost in the local seal population. For those who tend to freak out about this kind of thing, it says shark attacks are still amazingly rare. unless you're a SEAL. Oh, what's up, Dovey? Yeah, I'm not taking a chance. If they tell me that there's more great whites there, I'm not getting in the water there. End of story. I'm going to be that one somehow that the hungry shark comes across. I'm not going to do it. If you can't be bothered with those paltry $20 million lottery jackpots, time to get happy. Tonight's Powerball will hit $815 million, making the cash option about $368 million. How sad is that? $815 million. The $368 million is the cash option, so you got to pay all the taxes and all that. That's a lot of taxes, isn't it? I don't know. That's too much. I'm saving that for later. That's a good story right there. Now, who didn't see this one coming? Google is now returning to in-person interviews for job candidates. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because of the widespread AI-powered cheating that they say has compromised the integrity of their virtual hiring process. Google went to the virtual hiring process during COVID, but has noticed an uptick in those using AI to game the system and get the upper hand. You don't say. You don't say. Welcome to the party, Google. Yeah, this is not a good excuse, really. Check to see if there's a police dog on site before you start lying. A Washington driver crashed into a home's retaining wall and then told deputies their car was stolen. The sheriff's office responded to screams outside a home Saturday night after someone crashed into a wall. The person at the scene claimed their car was stolen and crashed by someone else. But when deputies brought out the canine to track suspects, led right back to the person making the claim. He also had a blood alcohol content of 0.147. That's pretty high. They were arrested for DUI, hit and run, false statements, etc. Laura Hall said K-pop is awful. I don't know. I mean, it sounds awful to me. I don't know a lot about the Korean culture, and I'm not a fan generally of just true pop songs. It's not my bag, and the combination of that seems less likely to be entertaining to me. Nothing makes your trip to a national park better than some illegal drug operations in the middle of really big trees. Officials removed 2,377 illegal marijuana plants, 2,000 pounds of toxic debris from a hidden cultivation site in the Sequoia National Park. Damaged nearly 13 acres of protected parkland. Well, damaged, I mean. Crews found semi-automatic pistols, campsites, chemicals, including some banned insecticides, that showed organized drug trafficking with poaching, cleared vegetation, nearly 2 miles of trails, and water diversions from creeks nearby. Over 20 years, officials have eradicated about 300,000 plants and 850 million from Sequoia and Kings Canyon parks. It says each marijuana plant uses 8 gallons of water daily. No arrests have been made yet. Let's see. Have you heard of port and starboard, the whale-killing sharks? I have not heard of them. No, I have not. I will see if I can look that up here in a little bit. All right, let's get into a little bit of sports-type stuff here. This is a big opening weekend. It's NCAA football. College football starts. And those who subscribe to YouTube TV might be at risk of missing out. There's a big dispute between YouTube and Fox has this weekend's game coverage in doubt, which would be bad news for those wanting to see massive matchup like Texas at Ohio State. If a deal isn't reached by 5 p.m. Eastern today, YouTube TV subscribers will lose access to channels like Fox, FS1, and Big Ten Network. Ooh, that would make me mad if I were a subscriber to that. Yeah, it does happen, but man, that's talking about bad timing. Just a month away from the end of the MLB regular season as things make their way towards wrapping up. Here's how the books see the who's most likely to win. So the Dodgers have the top spot. They're most favored to be the World Series champion, followed by the Phillies, Tigers, Brewers, Blue Jays, Yankees, Padres, Astros, Mariners, Mets, Cubs. I don't know. Who do you think is going to pull it off? Who do you think is going to pull it off? Terry McLaurin, you know who he is? He's with the Commanders. He had been basically saying he wanted out of his contract. He was ready to be traded. And so I guess the Commanders, somebody got smart and said, all right, hold on. We'll go ahead and keep you. Yeah, they should keep him. He's phenomenal. They did a 3-year contract extension worth $96 million. That's $32 million per year. That's pretty damn good money if you can get it. He initially didn't show up to training camp and then landed on the physically unable to perform list. After asking for a trade when negotiations were at a standstill, he now has been activated and is hopeful for the season opener September 7th against the Giants. So that's big news. If you're a Commanders fan, anyway. Brad said the Cubs are going to get it. Well, maybe. They're a long shot, but maybe they could. All right. Here's another, man, listen about this re-signing right here. Another 3-year deal. The Minnesota Wild signed center Marco Rossi to a 3-year, $15 million contract. Wow, he had a career best season for, he's a 2020 first-round draft pick who'd become a free agent. He had 24 goals, 36 assists, both career highs, and led the Wild with 7 power play goals. During his first NHL playoff series, he had 2 goals and 1 assist in 6 games after being moved down to the 4th line, which frustrated him. But the GM said too much was made of the switch. He said after the season he wanted a top 6 role, which the Wild agreed with. Yeah, I mean, that's a big difference between $96 million and $15 million. I guess football pays a little more than hockey, right? Brad said, long shot according to who? They don't know shit. That's fair enough. They probably don't know shit, Brad. You're probably right. And, do you remember Sean Kemp? Sean Kemp, man, he played with Gary Payton, the Seattle Supersonics back in the day. Man, one of the greatest NBA dunkers of all time. Man, he dunked on himself. Former NBA star Sean Kemp sentenced Friday to 30 days of home monitoring for shooting 2 men in a vehicle in a Washington State Mall parking lot. Kemp has to begin monitoring within 2 weeks. He'll also serve a year of State Department of Corrections supervision and 240 hours community service. They had recommended he be sentenced to 9 months in jail. But the judge found the circumstances surrounding the crime warranted a lesser sentence. Man, I don't really know the whole story, but he said he acted in self-defense. He returned fire after one of the men shot at him from inside their Toyota 4Runner. The defense claimed the 2 men Kemp shot at provoked the shooting by stealing Kemp's truck, his cell phone, and his memorabilia in Seattle. The judge apparently agreed. He used a phone tracking app. Kemp tried to talk to the driver of the 4Runner that was circling a casino parking lot. After that, the men in the vehicle dumped some of the belongings but hung on to the phone. Kemp later saw his phone was near the Tacoma Mall, so he drove there, saw the same 4Runner, expressed frustration with the driver, and the man in the back seat fired off a round, and Kemp returned fire, and, he shot them both, apparently. Well, that's what happens. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Brad said Kemp has, 23 kids? I don't know. I think he was a pretty prolific baby maker. I think he did help repopulate Seattle at one point. This is big news, another big signature, big money. Caitlin Clark, Nike's newest signature athlete, expanding the athletic wear company partnership with the WNBA star. On Monday, they revealed a new logo of interlocking C's to represent the Indiana Fever player. Clark's first signature shoe and apparel collection is going to debut next year. Her logo collection will launch on October 1st with a T-shirt in the colors yellow and navy blue. Nike's signature roster features all-time greats. I'm incredibly proud to join some of the best athletes in the world. I would be willing to bet that her shoes will sell out very quickly. I don't know that for sure, but I'm willing to bet that if any WNBA star shoes were going to sell, it'd be Caitlin Clark. Brad, do you think Brad knows about shoes? Brad, do you think the Caitlin Clarks will sell out pretty quick? And here's the question. As a guy, would you buy Caitlin Clark shoes and wear them? I would not wear any lady's shoes. But that's just me. Everybody's a little different, right, in what they do. Mistress said Reese is going to be pissed. Well, Reese is always pissed. What's new? We'll be back in just a minute.
I'ma take it there. Try not to rage out, but I'm getting the itch. I think I'm losing my shit. It's called a turn signal, bitch. Damn. Proximity alert. Too many cars on the road. And right now I'm Dr. Jekyll, but going into Mr. Hyde mode. Damn. On your ass when I put my footprint. Road rage warning. Road rage imminent. Road rage commencing in 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Went to sleep, sitting still just guzzling gas. Knob jockey in the jacked up Jeep is all up on my ass. Oh hell no, too much caffeine. Drop the oil slick, hit up the smoke screen. Richard Cheddar in the Beamer, he got something to flaunt. Light up the missiles, ready to launch. Fire 1, fire 2, boom, bitch, damn. On your ass, wanna put my footprint. Road rage warning, road rage imminent. Road rage commencing in 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. What the hell you waiting for? Now I got no time to hit up the convenience store. Blue hair, don't care, just trying to get from here to there. I don't even want to lose my shit. But it's called the slow lane. Get in it, you prick. Pull up on me, brake checking a bird. 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 On your ass, wanna put my footprint. Road rage warning, road rage imminent. Road rage commencing in 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1.
All right, I am back. We are back. So a couple things to make note of. Number one is that on the 31st, that is this Sunday, it is the Mario Kart tournament at Autosave Arcade in Bryan. You can register online. Look, just show up on the 31st at 1 o'clock. $10 is what each competitor will pay. You don't have to pay just to qualify and see if you can make it. Those who qualify, we've got 16 spots, will compete for the title. Also, September 13th, it is the 35th anniversary coming up of Vino's. And as you know, Darren Riggin and the guys have been in here a few times to promote this show. And as a matter of fact, I think I've got, let's just see what the lineup, he sent it to me here. And man, what a show this is going to be. And by the way, Laura is going to be there and performing as well. So you definitely want to come out for that. But some of the bands, Death Metal Disco, Mammoth Caravan, Aurora, Sidewinder, Manium, Big Boss Line, Body Drop, Joe in the Fields, 3-Speed, myself, Laura, all that. So yeah. It's going to be a hell of a show. That's a hell of a ticket. It is going to be September 13th at Vino's. So you want to get yourself some tickets to that show. So Patrick, did Roach show you that video of live Mario Kart? Did Rich show you that video? Yes, he did show me that video of what appeared to be live Mario Kart. I was surprised that they were doing that. It looked like a lot of people could be getting hurt doing that. I mean, it looked fun, but I'm like, yeah, I'm going to need some pads or something, man. There were people flying over the side of the walls and all kinds of stuff, but pretty fun, pretty fun. All right, some stuff here that I wanted to get into. Hold on one second. Let me do this. I got no Rich right now, so I don't have any cover for having to do things like this. But I got to plug in my computer before it dies. That's all I need this week to add to that misery. Yeah. Look at the top of my head. It's very exciting. Very exciting. Okay, now we're back. Man, do I have some good stuff today to talk about. Hopefully Rich will be here in a minute. I don't know. Traffic's probably really bad this time of the day. I don't normally get into this type traffic. Okay, so what the hell was going on with Lil Nas X? Man, the rapper Lil Nas X has finally been hit with the consequences of his lifestyle, I guess. The 26-year-old performer, he was arrested last week after a shocking public meltdown in L.A. He's facing 4 serious felony charges. Could put him in jail for a while. I don't know if it will or not. But according to reports from TMZ, the 26-year-old rapper was nabbed after being caught wandering the streets of L.A. First, he was in his underwear making videos, and then he was naked, high as a kite on who knows what. I mean, I don't know what it was. It looked like it must have been pretty good because dude was straight out of it. I mean, he had his Johnson in the wind and everything. According to Page 6, the rapper exhibited, quote, erratic behavior, including talking to bystanders, posing for the camera, quoting lyrics from Nicki Minaj's verse in a song, putting a traffic cone on his head. Man, he was having a good time. I mean, in fairness, he was having the time of his life in that moment. When officers arrived to respond to calls of a naked man wandering near West Hollywood, Lil Nas X got violent, prompted the use of force, and resulted in his arrest. Lil Doggy said, I'm concerned that Patrick may be afraid of being beaten by me if he helps me learn Mario Kart. He knows I'm a fast learner. Man, Mike, I would love to. I've just been absolutely overwhelmed the past few days, and it's been crazy, but holler at me. By the way, get you some of Mike's smoked salt. It was sitting up here. Rich took it home. That's right. Rich decided he wanted it, so he took it home. But I'll post some of it online. Also, Mike, shoot me over, text me a link people can use to get it. So officers showed up, and of course he was resisting. He was initially booked on suspicion of battery or obstruction, but his charges were upgraded to felonies: 3 counts of battery with injury on a police officer, 1 count of resisting an officer. And you know what? That'll just be, honestly, that's only going to be used to plea him down. They just stack those charges on so they can get the plea to what they want. Due to concerns of a possible drug overdose, they took him first to a hospital before he was sent to the Valley Jail in Van Nuys. According to them, he remained in custody without bail over the weekend and stood before a judge Monday morning. He at first when it happened, my wife thought it was probably a gimmick because, I mean, I'll be honest, he has been a master of, using publicity and media stunts to get attention. And he's done very well at it. I mean, you may not like it, you may not love it, but he damn sure has. Anyway, the rapper posted an image of himself on the cross with the caption, "My new single." Oh, that was back when in 2021, when he released his video with the where everybody got mad because it was, quote, satanic. I mean, I get what you're saying, but come on, let go. Every rock star since the beginning has used that kind of stuff. Ozzy Osbourne, Motley Crue, they're using the same kind of stuff. And I assume people were mad then too. My mom hated Motley Crue for that reason. None of them were really satanic. They just leveraged that to get what they wanted. he's probably no different. He's probably the least satanic person in the world, but that's what he does, you know. It gets him a lot of attention. But yeah, if you're going to do good drugs, you got to have a good handler. You got to have somebody who keeps you from getting out of the house. That's the key to the equation. If you're going to party, have somebody who keeps you from leaving the house. That's number one. T-Mac said Kanye's a genius with the media too. He is. I think he's disappeared for a little while for the most part because he probably went way too far. I think the problem for Kanye, because I think Kanye is a genius in more than one respect. He's one of the greatest music producers ever, one of the greatest music makers. I mean, he's a hit maker. But, you know, the problem is when you become that level of rich, it gets harder and harder to be tethered to reality because you don't live in it. You don't go to the grocery store. You're not driving yourself around the corner. You're not walking down the street talking to people. That's not your reality anymore. And so when everybody around you just says, yes, sir, and gets you whatever you want, yeah, bring me 2 chicks, one with a dong, one without. And make sure they have pineapple with them and fresh blueberries. People just say, yep, okay, you got it, Mr. West, we'll do it, you know? And so you do that long enough, you start to become disconnected from reality. And then your thoughts get real weird. We've seen it through lots of people who do that. You know, now, if you're a billionaire who runs a company, and I don't mean, you know, like Kanye runs a fashion company, because he's not managing day-to-day operations, not like Elon Musk. Elon Musk, he may be crazy, okay? Probably is, but he's pretty tethered to reality because he runs companies every day and he has to be in charge of them. So, but for other people like Lil Nas X or Kanye, you get to a level of rich and, man, just dumb things happen. T-Mac said, Kanye's a genius and most geniuses snap at some point. I've been learning about that. Has to do with your left and right brain getting out of sync. Yeah, I probably have experienced that more than once. I'm going to be honest with you. Pretty sure I have. But there have been lots of actors, look, for example, the beloved Robert Downey Jr. spent probably a decade in the 90s as a crackhead, literally a crackhead, doing things that you wouldn't want to know about in alleys and whatnot. Got arrested repeatedly, doing way crazy stuff. Now he's Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he completely turned it around. But it happens to a lot of these very wealthy people. That's why a lot of these, the kids of wealthy people are the worst, because they've never experienced any kind of adversity that they couldn't just snap their fingers and make go away. You know, they came out of the womb with the best of the best. I mean, their starter car is probably what your dream car is. You know? I mean, look, you think that when Kanye's kid starts driving, he's going to give him an old Pontiac Grand Prix? Hell no, he's not. No, he's not. They're probably going to get some Bentley or some shit like that, man. No, they're not going to start with a hoopty. That's what they should start with. I think everybody who ever drives a car should start with a hoopty, because you're going to wreck it at some point, 90% of the time. Little doggy said, Kanye uses cancel culture and crazy to get out of contracts. Some have said so, and that could be true. You know, some said that about Adidas and him wanting out of his contract with them. That is very possible. Many people say, yes, that's what Beyonce, that's why Beyonce is doing country. Well, you know, look, she did an album of country because she wanted to dip her toe in it. I don't think that she's decided to become a country artist, you know, but lots of people do that. You know, look, Hootie's over there doing country. Aaron Lewis is over there doing country. A lot of people, everybody, hell, Post Malone's doing country. Everybody's in country right now. If you're not doing something in country, you're missing the boat right now. You should be in country making a song with somebody, because that's been the hot thing for the past 5 years. Yeah, if I was a musical artist, I'd damn sure be doing something with a country artist too. Country's not my bag, but I would certainly do it because that's where that money is right now. So yeah, I get why she might have done that. Now, was it my bag? No, but I didn't like most of Beyonce's other albums, to be honest with you. I mean, I respect her as an artist. She's very talented, but I don't enjoy her music. I think she has 2 or 3 songs that I vibe to. The rest of them, I don't give a shit. I don't go buy her albums. So I don't care if she's doing country, opera, jazz, doesn't matter to me. I don't like it. I just don't. Now, I'll keep checking out Kanye's albums, but the last couple of them have been trash in my mind. I miss the old Kanye. You know what I'm talking about when I say that. The fun Kanye. Just like Eminem, I was watching this documentary called Stands, which is really interesting. It's about Eminem's fans, and he had the song Stan, and now they became the Stans. You want to talk about some people not tethered to reality? Whew. Man, that documentary is really interesting. You should take a look at it. I think it's on Paramount. But what I was going to say is, I miss the fun Eminem. I miss that. I liked Eminem when he was fun, and then he wasn't fun, and he hadn't been fun really for the most part in a long time. If you go back and look, it was showing him in his early career. He was half comedian, half rapper, and he really was. I mean, he was doing slapstick, doing all kinds of fun stuff, and he was a real big time personality. And then that just kind of shifted and changed, and he got real serious all the time. And I get it. He overcome addiction and things like that. Give us a second. I'm going to go to break, and we'll be back in just a minute, okay?
Bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
Something feels wrong, it's in the air. There's dark magic of which I'm aware. Got a feeling in my soul about you. Vision scaring me. Is it witch's brew? About you. Your silhouette in the blood moons cast this dark enchantment. How long will it last? Is it forever? I'm just a man, I'm just flesh and blood, no special powers, once made of mud. Am I going back?
All right, man. Exciting, exciting. I am super excited to have someone here with me. This is Laura May, and she is with Mackey's. And Mackey's is a food truck company, a restaurant, if you will, a mobile restaurant, however you would describe it. Tell people about Mackey's.
So my name's actually Natalie, not Laura, but that's
Oh,
okay.
did I say Laura? I'm so sorry.
no.
I meant Natalie.
That's okay.
I'm reading the comments,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm an idiot.
You're good. Welcome.
Yeah, right.
No, Laura's my friend. She's actually the one that helped me get on here.
Oh, okay. Well,
So,
great.
yeah.
Well, great.
So Mackey's Catfish, we've got 3 food trucks. 2 of them are mine. One
Okay.
of them belongs to Ethan Mackey.
Okay.
I'm definitely not a Mackey. I just try to be.
Okay. All right.
So his is stationed in Russellville, and then my 2 just kind of travel around everywhere.
Okay.
And they're a little bit different than his because everybody that works for me is in recovery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool that you offer a pathway there for folks like that. That's amazing. What led to you doing that?
So first I had to do a lot of drugs and get arrested a lot.
That'll do it.
Yeah, you have to do that first. It's kind of a bummer. So I used to work for Mr. Mackey a long
Okay.
time ago at Gala Creek Country Club in Pottsville.
Okay.
And that was kind of during the beginning of my downfall in life. So it took me down for a few years. I kept getting in trouble, kept getting deeper in there, just kind of a big bummer. And once I finally got clean and had enough treatment in me, I guess, and enough of an established base of recovery, I went, crawling back to Mr. Mackey and said, hey, what can I do to, get back in and work for you again?
Yeah.
And he said, are you done messing up? I said, yes, sir. He said, okay, get in the truck.
Yeah.
And that was the interview.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, was that something that started when you were really young? Were you influenced by someone? Was it just something you turned to in a moment? How did you end up on that path?
Man, good question. So I came from an amazing family. Loving, everyone was healthy, there was no fighting, there was no abuse, no substances, nothing like that. It was a very warm, loving, happy family.
Yeah, the typical nuclear family.
Yeah, it was great. And whenever I started school, I was a little bit older, everyone was a little bit older than me. And
Okay.
so I really struggled to find a friend group. Everybody had their friends already.
Yeah.
And I spent years trying to fit in of where I thought I should be.
Right.
And I finally, at the end of high school, kind of just caved into what everybody else was doing, but like on a real small level. And I got married early, had a kid early, and I spent, years trying to fix that marriage when it was never really based on anything super healthy.
Yeah,
That was,
you probably weren't
Yeah.
your best version of yourself
No.
and didn't even know how to identify a positive relationship
no,
at that time.
not at all. And I blamed him for everything.
Sure.
And that's just not the truth.
Yeah.
It's not always just one person's fault. I have some blame there too.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's okay to admit that. So whenever I started getting really tired of the marriage, I started just retaliating. And I left and I went, I hooked up with one of his friends and then hooked up with his friend's dad. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was a bad idea. And that man I didn't know had made a career out of doing hard drugs. And so I was almost 30 years old whenever I started hard drugs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
just went down.
That you were a late bloomer in that path.
I was, man, for that part of it anyways. And so I just spent a few short years getting arrested as much as I could, trying as much as I could,
Yeah.
and blaming him for the marriage going wrong. Like
Right.
You did this,
Right.
I'm doing this because I'm mad at you. And
So what was the catalyst to change, to leave that lifestyle?
so the last time I really got in trouble, I got put in a program, gratefully, where you have to do certain things and go to meetings and have a productive life, and I couldn't quite do that program right. I kept getting in trouble. And so the last big time that I got in trouble, they sent me to a facility in West Memphis. I call it the Resort. It's not. Everyone's wearing the same color, and the officers have guns.
Right.
And I don't. So whenever I checked in there, man, I knew finally that I didn't want to do that last one that I had. I was just over it. I was ready to be done. I was tired, and I was 33 at the time. And once we finally got into the facility after about a week and a half of county, I watched a girl overdose and die because she wanted one more.
Yeah.
And that really, really was the last.
That resonated.
Yeah, that was the last part of it.
Yeah, because you saw this could be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was 26. She was only there for 90 days.
Wow.
She was a baby.
Yeah.
And she just wanted to do one more. And there were so many times I wanted just one more.
Yeah. It's always one more.
Yeah, I didn't want any more.
It's amazing the lies that we tell ourselves and the way we manipulate ourselves in pursuit of that.
Yeah.
So clearly though, you did make that decision and you overcame that. You made a change in your life and you went back to Mr. Mackey and said, "Hey, listen, I know I screwed everything up, but could you?"
Yeah.
And he opened the door back, said, "Get in the truck," and so from there it's just kind of exploded.
Yeah, it did. So I worked there at the Russellville location for a few months. He retired, sold it to his grandson, Ethan. And a few months later was when my record got cleared up because I finally did the whole program. Took me 2 years and 8 months, but I finally did it and got all my felonies taken care of, everything I had done, all the restitution paid,
right?
Everything done, and I was no longer a felon. I'm like, dude, this is amazing.
And it is an amazing feeling to know that. It's so funny because sometimes when you do stuff like that or you mess up and you do things like that, like. For example, I still get anxious when a policeman pulls up behind me, even though I know I'm doing nothing wrong and got nothing on me that's going to be a problem, but I still get that little anxiety, you know what I'm saying? And so it is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
So, how did you go from working for him to, let me get my own truck going?
Yeah, so that wasn't my idea. I thought that I was supposed to become a drug and alcohol counselor and save everyone in addiction.
Right.
By the way, everybody in recovery thinks they're supposed to save everybody. We have a complex. That's okay. So I got the record cleared, and I told the manager, I was like, "Hey, this isn't my notice, but I need to start looking for a grown-up job. I can't fry fish forever.
Yeah,
that's not going to make a living." And she's like, "Okay, I understand. That's fine." And she told on me to her son, the owner.
Yeah.
And a few days later, he's just being nonchalant at work. We're just cooking and working. He goes, "Oh, so I heard you're leaving us." I was like, "Man, not yet. I don't have anything lined up, but I got to start looking."
Yeah.
He was like, "No." I was like, "Probably." He said, "No, you just need your own food truck." I was like, "Man, I don't know if you remember. When I ruined my life, I ruined everything. I ruined my credit. I can't buy a food truck. What do you mean?"
Right.
He said, "No, I'll buy it for you and just pay me back. You need
Really?
your own food truck." And I was like, "Dude, are you joking?" He said, "No, I'm dead serious." And I just cried.
I bet you did.
I'm trying to cook French fries and hush puppies, and I'm just bawling, not doing a good job.
I can imagine that must be overwhelming given all that you've come through.
Yeah.
To have somebody show that amount of trust and faith in you when you didn't feel it was earned in that moment.
Not at all. I did not deserve it.
Yeah.
Especially with that family. I did not deserve for them to even be nice to me.
Right.
Every single one of them gave me another chance.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. So that was in November of 2020.
Yeah.
And by January 21st, I opened my doors of my first food truck. Opened it in Conway.
That's amazing. And I would think that, I don't know, but I would imagine that at least during the COVID and all of that went on, that it had to be better for food trucks than it was for a brick and mortar facility, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
people
we never had to close.
Right. You didn't have to close. People could come get what they needed and go back home and hide out and do all that. Or you might even be in their area and show up. And for those who did have to go to work, they certainly weren't going to go somewhere and sit down. They couldn't.
No, they couldn't.
There probably wasn't, it either wasn't open or it just wasn't safe in their mind to do that, right?
Yeah.
And so in a weird way, that probably kind of catapulted it for you, right?
Oh, it helped a whole lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot. And the Mackey name was so established that when I opened one, they're like, "Oh, I've heard of that. Oh, I've tried that."
Yeah.
And so I had that.
So you had the brand behind you already,
did.
which helped kind of push even more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So And now you're up to 2 trucks.
Yes. So about a year and 3 months after opening that one, Ethan called me and said, "Hey, got this other trailer. Come get it out of my yard." I'm like, "All right, man, I'm on my way."
Yeah.
So I went and, got it fixed up a little bit, and he helped fix it up a little bit because it was the first trailer that was ever a Mackey's trailer.
Okay.
And it just kind of sat there for a little bit, and it needed an exorcism.
Need a little TLC. Yeah. An exorcism. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, it needed some love. So I got that one out of the yard, man, and opened it also with people in recovery. Everybody that worked for me was in recovery.
Now, let me ask you the hard question here, which is, by doing, which it is a beautiful and wonderful thing to do that, I think.
Yeah.
By the way, my father spent, he died 34 years sober. And he spent the rest of his life trying to help other people find
Yeah.
sobriety,
Yeah.
But I also know that not everybody makes it on the path they're supposed to be.
No.
Is it by nature riskier to extend that, or how do you make sure that you're making the best decision for you and your business when you do this?
Man, unfortunately, I'm not that smart, and I think about the people first before I do the business.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No. And it really has served me well. It
Yeah.
really has, because it never, like I said, it wasn't my plan. And I
Yeah.
didn't even know I was going to hire people in recovery till I'm sitting in a recovery meeting and someone's sharing about how they can't find a job and enough hours. I was like, I know this dude. I know his personality.
Yeah.
You're working for me, bro.
Yeah,
like,
that's
come
good.
on. And there's more crying.
So really, you've kind of paid it forward in
Yeah.
a way, what the Mackey family kind of how they did with
Of
you.
course.
You're like, let me pay this forward and help others in the same
course.
boat.
Yeah.
And so not only did that work for the first one, now a second one as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So with people in recovery, like, most of us are desperate to make up for what we did.
Yeah.
Most of us are really trying to prove ourselves a little bit harder than normal people have to.
Sure, I can understand.
And so I really never worried about anybody stealing or not showing up, because it was people that were
Hungry to find that path.
asking for a job. I wasn't
Yeah.
like, "Hey, do you want a job?"
Yeah.
But except for that guy. But
Yeah, you weren't pulling them off the street.
no,
you know,
no.
Right.
No. We only have one person who had 1 day clean. Their first day clean was their first day working for me.
Wow.
And that person, let's see, 3 days ago, just celebrated 2 years.
Really? That's
they're-
amazing.
and they're
That's
still working
amazing.
there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you've got a culture of, recovered people who are helping each other
Yeah.
maintain their recovery and
Yeah.
probably helping others as well. Is that
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So I've got 3 people that have worked for me before that are now working in a treatment center.
That's awesome.
It's a lot, man. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
So, you have to feel so positive. I mean, given the circumstances of, pre-2020.
Yeah.
And everything that you've been through, to be where you are now must just feel amazing and surreal.
Yeah, it does, man. I don't understand who I am or how I'm here sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's that complex of, don't you know who I am? Like, you really shouldn't talk to me.
I think they sometimes call that imposter syndrome.
Sure.
Where you don't quite feel comfortable in your skin
Yeah.
because you feel like maybe someone's going to see through all this.
Yeah.
Like it's bullshit, right?
Right. And
But it's not.
No, it's not. And to combat that, I do things like this. Like, I'm open and honest. You can't come and hurt me with my past, because I've put it out there pretty public.
Yeah,
There's-
no, that's it. Owning things
Yeah.
is typically the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you take the shot at yourself, no one else has to or will.
Yeah, and I can't hide the fact that I've been on the front page twice for felonies, man. You can't hide that. So, like,
Yeah.
I know what I did, and everybody else knows what I did. Let's see what's
But
possible
I
now.
think it's even better reason in my mind to support it. Because
Yeah.
it's like, look, here's a person who says, yeah, I made some bad decisions. Now I've made some better ones. And I'm out here, not only trying to maintain my own path, but helping others find that path as well and share that path and grow that fraternity of people in recovery.
Yeah, because if I just take the path that the Mackeys gave me and just keep it to myself and don't help anybody else win or progress, then I'm here for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean,
We're
that's
going to
great.
win together.
No, and that's kind of what this show is built on is elevating people because so many local people in our state are amazing business people,
Yeah.
amazing innovators, amazing talent, artists, things like that. And, you know, we often get a little bit of a bad rap in this state for not being the smartest, you know, there is, but
Yeah.
but there are so many great and talented people here. So I think this is a perfect story for us to share, and it is wonderful that, you know, I think everybody must be excited to be part of that success.
Yeah, they are, man, and I'm grateful to have them too because I can't do it by myself.
Right. Now, if people wanted to find out where your trucks are today, how do they do that?
So I've got a Facebook page for each one.
Okay.
I've got Mackey's Catfish of Morrilton, Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
and that's that first trailer that I opened. It's the bigger one, the nicer one, bright
Yeah.
orange. You can't miss it unless your eyes are closed.
Okay.
And then I've got the little blue one, the oldest one, and that one's called Mackey's Catfish Mobile.
Okay.
That truck is just a little bit homeless. We don't. It doesn't have a permanent home. We kind of
You just kind of go all over the place, right? Right. Now, your other one in Morrilton's parked and camped out. Is that right?
Yeah, right now it's up at the Chuck Wagon races in Clinton for the week.
Okay. So what, you know, obviously you have Catfish.
Yeah, we've got Catfish.
You know, what else on the menu over there? What are the big things people should come check out?
Man, we've got family dinners. We offer catering services. Our chicken bites are amazing. It's called Daylight Chicken. I don't know if you ever heard of.
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay,
Tell me
so,
about it.
So Daylight Donuts started it a long time
Oh,
ago in
really?
Russellville, yeah. And they had Daylight Chicken. It's like this amazing patented batter, and then you put it in this milk mixture, and then back into the batter, and then you just go.
It's good.
it up. It's
Man, I
amazing.
need to check that out. I mean, I know I like their donuts. I shouldn't, but I do.
Well, they don't even carry it anymore. You have to come to Mackey's Catfish.
Yeah,
to get
well,
it.
I would definitely try to do that. That would be awesome. Now, you brought this morning something for us to try. What did you bring?
This is the most amazing thing on our menu ever, probably.
Yeah.
This is homemade banana pudding.
Oh wow, that's certainly something that anybody who is a normal human being loves banana pudding, I think.
Especially in the South.
Yeah, no, especially here. Yeah, that's right. The more decadent it is, the more we like it. So just put some on a plate there and let me try that real quick, and I'll tell everybody what I think. Now I'm going to be honest.
That's fine. I'm not worried about it.
Did she ever bring one to Hot Springs? Mr. Smam says.
Well, hello. We have before. We went to a food truck festival there, I think about a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. And did that. It was kind of a big festival, so there was a lot of trucks. I don't know if anybody could carefully try each truck, but we're definitely willing to go anywhere. Oh, you're quiet. You must be happy. So if anybody has a spot or
So-
like catering or something,
Let me
get a
tell you
hold of me.
what I like about this already. And I'm a huge T-Mac. What's wrong with you? Everybody likes banana pudding. You come try this one. Look, so what I love about it is the flavor profile is very powerful. It's very pronounced, and that's good. But interestingly, the cream stands out, as well as it's lighter in a way than a lot of banana puddings are. A lot of times you take a bite of banana pudding and it's super thick, and it's just you feel the weight immediately when you swallow it, like a brick.
Yeah.
You know, this actually feels much lighter. It's creamier, and it's got a real good flavor profile. Is that kind of how you would describe it?
Yeah, and that comes directly from the Mackeys. That's like a long line of here's how Grandma did it, and
Yeah, it's the recipe you could tell me, but I'd have to die.
yeah, we'd
No,
have, the
that's-
podcast would be over forever.
Yeah, no, I understand. We could
you
never.
You won't find it written down anywhere.
No, I would imagine not. Is this a staple item for you guys that you have a lot of people that come to get that?
Absolutely, and every now and then we'll do another homemade dessert, but everybody's like, "But where's the pudding?"
Right. So they come to get lunch and then they'll get dessert as well, or
Yeah.
dinner and dessert as well.
Yeah.
That's great. And listen, that is delightful, actually.
Thank you.
That really is. So,
Thank you. You got a whole pan for breakfast.
well, I'm very excited. I'm sure Rich will be here momentarily to help me too. So, listen, you want to check them out. So, online, tell them again one more time how they find you online.
So on Facebook, go to Mackey's Catfish Mobile, and then Mackey's Catfish of Morrilton, Arkansas.
And that's Mackey, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Mackey's. So check out Mackey's Catfish. You got the one in Morrilton, you got the mobile one, and amazing foods. And I think, Natalie, probably as much as important, if not even more important, to that is the story behind
Yeah.
the food.
Yeah.
And I think this is an amazing thing that anybody with a heart would love to support and get behind.
Well, and
It doesn't hurt that it's delicious.
yeah, and that's what we're looking for. So with me being in recovery, I'm getting more established every day.
Yeah.
We're on a mission right now. I woke up recently. I was like, let's feed all the treatment centers. Let's feed all the recovery houses.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's great.
And I got a hold of my buddy who owns one in Hartman, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Stepping Stones. Because he had done this, his name's Joseph Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
He had done this recovery rally in Clarksville and had this big name influence on there. And I was like, dude, how do I get a hold of that guy to help me, get this word out there? And he was like, here's his number.
I have a friend of mine, Chris, and he just opened a very, 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 very nice recovery center
Yeah.
in Saline County.
Right on.
And I don't know if you guys could cooperatively work because it's so far away from you, but
Nothing's too far.
I should put you in touch with him because his center is amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
they took over a former school, and they have made the most modern, beautiful, wonderful treatment center. I mean, it's just, but they do have a cafeteria area.
Yeah.
And so as you said that, I was like, man, I bet they would probably love to do
Yeah.
something with these guys, every so often at least. So,
Right, right.
at least I could connect you with
That'd be
them.
great, man. I'll
And I bet he'd be super responsive. One of the
Yeah.
nicest people we've had him on
Yeah.
the show, and he's just a gem of a human being. But he
Yeah.
like yourself has a story.
Yeah.
And he went down that path as well, and made some really poor decisions.
Sure.
And when he came out, he decided, I am going to do something.
Yeah.
And so he is doing it. So I would love to
That'd
team
be
you
great.
guys superpowers up.
Yeah, that'd be great, man.
All right.
We'll take all the help we can.
All right. Well, we are going to take a break, and thank you again, Natalie, for coming on. It's Natalie May with Mackey's Catfish, and check them out online and go find them, especially if you're in that area up by Las Vegas, Clarksville, and all of that. All right. We'll be back in just a minute.
You quietly light your own fires, grinning as you slink away, slashing all your own tires, bitching 'cause you gotta stay. I can't keep running this white horse when you're both predator and prey. Leave the saddle and change the course. A tip of the hat, fuck that, and I'm on my way. I'm headed up a mountain where I can breathe. Gonna stand in a place that makes me believe. You may be gone, but there's still a the world for me. Come on! Come on! Come on! Drop it. Is it rock? Is it rap? Who gives a shit? Long as it slaps. Just turn the knob to the right and crank up the volume. Go ahead, blow it up just like you did your bathroom. No, he didn't. Beats bumping like they're on cocaine. Speakers make the windows wobble. I see it's all up in your brain and moving like a bobble. This is the new shit. It's got the truth in it. Mix it up, let's do shit. When you don't give two shits, let me brew this. Because I do this. Don't misconstrue this. I took the rock game and ran a coupe shit. El Presidente. But in other news, rolling through the barrio and yeah, rolling nice and slow cause I'm bumping my own song. Shorty on the street yelled it straight fires the bomb. Hey, yo, that shorty was your mom. Left her standing there with the sweater puppies popping. I got shit to do today and more beats to be dropping. Sliding to the studio, mashing out new bangers. Only fire, top shelf ammo won't catch me firing blankers. This is the new shit. It's got the truth in it. Mix it up like stew shit. When you don't give two shits, let me brew this. Because I do this. Don't misconstrue this. I took the rock game and ran a coupe shit. Yeah, it's different. It's what everybody's saying. Music rolls like a tank. We ain't up in it playing. Homie hanging at the board, catching bloods on parade. But you know when I hit record, lock it down, it's getting played. Spliff o'clock later, mixing up the track. Just roll my last data. Think I'll call your mom back.
She said she got that gas, bro.
This is the new shit. It's got the truth in it. Mix it up like stew shit. When you don't give two shits, let me brew this. Because I do this. Don't misconstrue this. I took the rock game and ran a coupe shit. Bump it in your barrio. Bump it in your barrio. Bump it in your barrio.
Sorry, everybody. I was trying to find Rich. I was trying to see where he was, making sure he was alive and well. Man, that was a great conversation with Natalie. What an amazing story of recovery. Anytime that somebody overcomes something like that, I love hearing, how they've turned that corner and changed their life, because especially growing up in the era I did in Saline County, saw so many, it's innumerable how many people I've seen succumb to addiction, and lots of very good friends, some who've lost their lives as a result of it. And so to see people overcome that, because overcoming any addiction is the hardest thing that most anybody goes through. And most of us face some kind, some people it's drugs. In my case, I struggle with food addiction. That's why my weight goes up and down, because I battle it. But everybody has some kind of battle that they face. But it's amazing and inspiring to hear people who, dig down and find some kind of faith and self-discipline to overcome these things. And I love highlighting that kind of story. It makes my day to help someone like Natalie, who has worked so hard to not only overcome addiction, but to completely change her entire life. And she's the real deal, man. I talked to her off air, and she is the real deal. I mean, just a champion of a human being who really wants nothing more than to continue to recover and help others do the same thing. And it's really cool that she was able to leverage that to help others like that. So, that's a great story, and it's really cool. By the way, just shared on our PATP Facebook page a link to Little Doggy's Etsy, where you can get Mike's smoked salt. Man, it's good stuff. Listen, this dude knows about food. He knows how to cook. He often, back in the day, would have he would invite people to come over, and he would prepare dinner for them. Usually a pair of couples would come over, and he would make all these chef creations. And he also has, he's won chili cook-offs. He's got an award-winning recipe for that. As a matter of fact, several people have used his recipe to win chili cook-offs, literally. And so when he puts out a product like this, you can bet that it's a great product and you should check it out. So make sure. And he's going to have the hot and spicy version coming out this weekend if you prefer a little bit more of a kick in your food. But I'll tell you what, if you use this, it will definitely bring out the flavor profile of what you're cooking. So much better. I mean, because of the salt binding, it helps it keep the moisture right as well. So it's just a phenomenal blend that he put together. So go check that out. It's on our Facebook page right now. You can just click it and follow over to his Etsy account. I think it's only like $13 for a bottle. And a bottle will probably last you, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months, depending on how much you use it, T-Mac said, hey, invite me to dinner, little doggy. Yeah, listen, if little doggy invites you to dinner, don't say no. Cancel your other plans because you're going to eat better than you've eaten in a long time. I can guarantee you that, my friend. I can guarantee you that. All right, let's see. I've got a couple more things to cover before we get out today. Kind of running through stuff because my partner in crime is not here right now. But that's okay. We will make do, as always. So let's see. Let's talk about the deadliest countries to take a selfie. And some people will do anything to get a selfie. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes their quest to have something amazing to put on social media doesn't turn out well. People get hurt all the time taking pictures, but a new study reveals the most dangerous places on the planet to do that. They looked at selfie-related incidents worldwide from March of 2014 to May of 2025. And their researchers analyzed Google News stories to find cases where attempting to take a selfie directly led to injury or death. Would you care to guess where that is? The study finds that the most common cause of selfie-related fatalities around the world is what? Everybody? Falling. That's right. Yeah, falling, which accounts 46% of all the incidents. And did you guess where it was that the most were? I bet your guess isn't right. I'll be honest with you. Maybe you are. Did you have India on your bingo card? Because that is the answer. It's the most dangerous country for selfies. 42% of all selfie-related incidents in the world happen in India. Now, you understand they have a lot of people there, all right? But out of the 271 selfie-induced casualties in India, 214 resulted in death and 57 injuries. A combination of densely populated areas, easy access to risky environments like cliffs and train tracks, and a strong social media culture are the factors to the danger in India. Now, we came in number 2, but our numbers are way lower. Okay, so their numbers were 271 as far as death and injuries. In America, it's 45 total casualties and 37 deaths, 8 injuries is what you get. So India, United States, followed by Russia, Pakistan, Australia, Indonesia, Kenya, the UK, Spain, and Brazil. Yeah, it's not the place that's dangerous, it's the idiots, man. Mistress Ma'am said, I'm sure it involves cliffs and or wild animals. Well, cliffs for sure. Yeah, wild animals often, anytime people try to, get up and get selfies with bears or buffalo, bison, things like that, dumb things happen to them, and they should. I mean, I don't feel sorry for anybody who gets out of their car, walks up to a bison or a bear or a moose to try to get a selfie and gets their ass handed to them. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. That'd be like a diver trying to get a selfie with a great white. Is that really a good idea? I don't know. Maybe it is for you. It's not for me. I'll tell you that. I'm out on that. It is amazing too how many selfies people take. It's an innumerable amount. I don't know. Do we have more or less selfies now than ever? Do we have more than ever? People still out doing that? Brandon said, "Don't turn your back to a big cat." Well, no, you absolutely shouldn't unless you want to die. Yeah, no. If you were going to try to get away from one, you would back away because as soon as you start to run, it's over. But unless it's a mountain lion, you might, or a bobcat, you might be able to, handle a mountain lion or a bobcat if everything went perfect. You will not beat a lion or a tiger. There's no win there for you. There's no world where you come out. You're not going to poke it in the eye. You're not going to hit it in the nose and it leave. It's just going to get mad and make it worse for you. You've seen how cats play with toys. That's what you are to a tiger or a lion. So yeah, go ahead and get out of the car. Take a selfie with it. See what happens. I remember there was a couple. I think this video is viral, probably still viral, still probably getting hits every single day. And this was in, I think, China. They had a wildlife habitat, one that you drive through. And you don't have guides or anything. You just drive your car through. And clearly the signs everywhere say, hey, don't get out of your car. Well, this couple apparently was having an argument. The lady got mad, got out of the car, stomping around, and guess what happened? I think it was a lion grabbed her and just took her off. Her husband jumped out, but by then it was too late. All he could really do is go, "Bye, I love you, sorry," because that lion was gone, man. Gone, man. What did Mike say there? Here, let me. Sorry, it's scrolling past me real quick, so let me look back here. Thanks for the show this morning, brother. I genuinely have not been as disappointed in life about anything else than the last 2 days. Man, I'm sorry, bro. I truly hated it, man. I hate it. Brandon said, "I miss you too, Mike." Tasha Mack said, "I agree. I was so off my morning routine the past 2 mornings. I missed the comments too." What's up, Bowmaster? I see you in the house over there. Thank you, guys. I appreciate what you're saying. It means the world to me. I'm glad that you enjoy it. It's a labor of love, that's for sure. All right. So teachers are calling out parents that do things they say that make it harder to teach their kids. Now, a lot of you out there have kids. You may have kids in school. You certainly had kids, many of you who have been in school. It may be grown now. But as the new school year kicks off, they ask teachers about things parents do or don't at home that make it harder to teach the kids. Educators shared where they feel like parents dropped the ball and what they can do to better support their kids' development and education. Now, before I endeavor into this, understand that, we understand that some things that teachers do also are problematic. Number one, don't have sex with the kids. That's number one. Just don't do that, and it seems to happen a lot, to be honest. It seems to happen way more. They used to always joke about priest, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure teachers haven't beat them at this point. It seems like teachers are beating them because I just saw a story today about another teacher that got caught. And I'm just like, man, I mean, how many of you does it take before you go, yeah, I probably shouldn't do this, However, let's go back to most teachers are amazing. Most teachers care about the kids in the right way, and they want the best result for them. So parenting mistakes teachers say they're paying for include parents no longer help children manage boredom and frustration. These are muscles that need to be stretched and when done correctly, help kids persevere and think critically and creatively. I agree. I agree with that. I agree that We spend too much time trying to facilitate kids not being bored. Instead of just saying, hey, find something to do. My dad, when I was a kid, if I said I was bored, I just didn't say I was bored. I probably did it once or twice and never again, because the next thing he's going to say is, oh, you don't have anything to do? Well, come over here. I got something for you. You won't be bored anymore. And it'd be something I didn't want to do. Right? But now we give them everything. I mean, the phone, this, that, access to everything, anytime, anywhere. This one says, parents allow students to be disrespectful. Children rule the home, not the parents. Sometimes that's the case. I don't know that that's new, but it is the case sometimes. And that is a problem. If kids are allowed to be disrespectful at home, then they're certainly going to be disrespectful at school. It starts at home, respecting your parent. And if you can't respect your parents, there's a high probability you're not going to respect other adults. And you have to create that culture. You have to say, hey, hold on, player. You talking to the wrong one. I got bad breath, a bad back, and a bad attitude. You know what I mean? I will mess you up right now. And, both of our sons, I feel like, are pretty respectful. They're good boys. Now, they've had their challenges, but they also know that I will yank a knot in that ass. And Mama's even worse. You don't want to mess with Laura. Do not mess with Laura. Trust me, you. You think it's stereotypical that Hispanic women get fired up? Yeah, well, she fills that stereotype perfectly. Parents don't spend time talking about and discovering the world with their kids. They give them a phone to occupy their time. Yeah, some of that is on the parent. Some of that is also just time, the where we are in the universe. Because, if you look back at the 70s and 80s, there were many, many stay-at-home moms. And I'm not saying right, wrong. I'm not judging that. I'm just saying that my mom, for example, was a stay-at-home mom. And so we did spend a lot more time together, but now it's very difficult as a parent to have another parent stay home and pay your bills. It's expensive. You know what I'm saying? Brandon said, I'm low-key scared of her. She will beat your ass. No, you're right to be scared of her, and she will. Yeah, it's not the first time I've heard that about Laura. Laura's just that person. You just know when you meet her right away that, yeah, she don't play. She will light you up, man. I've seen her light up grown-ass men, and I've seen more than one man back down from her. There's something about her. She's got a presence about her, This says, parents don't tell their kids that if they fail, it's their own fault. Parents don't push kids to learn. It's just get a good grade and pass, but they don't care about learning. I don't know. I do agree about letting kids know if you fail, it's okay to fail, but acknowledge you failed. And learn from it and do better. I was just telling Tyler the other day that, here's the truth. Wisdom is all a product of bad experiences. That's the only way. Wisdom doesn't come free. It's very expensive typically. It comes from an experience you have and you say, man, I don't ever want to have that experience again. That's called wisdom. When you don't learn from it, that's the problem. So I think that the other thing too, though, is that sometimes parents can't help with the homework because things change. I've told you before that the one argument I ever had with the teacher is when they implemented Common Core. And they said that you can no longer carry numbers in math. And I didn't understand that. And I'm like, well, why can't you carry the number? I mean, the answer is correct. Well, you can't show why it works. You can't show the work. I said, well, what difference does it make? I can't see the error, but I know it works. And carrying the ones always worked. It's a shortcut that works very well. It's as a matter of fact, it's flawless. It's unbeaten. And you want to make math even harder for kids? I mean, come on, man. You don't have to do that. But a lot of parents, the way that it is now, may not know how to help their kids with that. I can't help a kid with math that doesn't involve carrying numbers because that's the only way I know to do it. And I'm not going to start today to learn a new way. It works. I don't know. I mean, they shouldn't have gotten rid of it. I don't know. Maybe they brought it back. Maybe they didn't get rid of it everywhere. Let's see. What else do they say here? Parents allow too much screen time, have children in too many organized activities, sports and music lessons, so on, that take focus away from school. I don't agree with that. Now, the screen time, maybe. But look, man, you can't, a student's not a soldier. Okay, when you're a kid, your life is not about 24/7 education. You may be learning, but it ain't 24/7 school, and it shouldn't be. That's China, where you grow up in a very different way. I don't like that at all. Kids need downtime. They need activities. Look, a lot of these kids, if they don't have sports or music or something like that, the alternative, they may be running the street. They may be hanging out with people who aren't good influences. So we kept our kids involved in programs year-round if we could. Not because I'm lazy or don't want to spend time with my kids, but those programs teach teamwork, which a lot of kids lack. It teaches discipline, which guess what? A lot of us lack. It teaches determination. It teaches overcoming adversity. All of those things are learned through those programs that you don't consider, quote, educational. They are educational. Now, again, parents have to make sure their kids do their homework. That was something really important that, look, I may not have known every answer, but I knew how to check homework. I knew how to say, bring it to me and let me make sure it's done. Let me look at it. And, in worst case scenario, I could go through the book and find the answer and check them, and we did that regularly. Mistress says the school has them exclusively on screens and make parents the bad guy about it. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. There weren't any screens. I think, no, there was never a computer in the teachers may have had a computer or the administration did. I did not as a kid have computers. We didn't. And it is great to have screens. It is great, but there is something lost in that. But you're right. You got them on screens all day, doing stuff all day. Yeah, they're also a big part of that. You're exactly right. Parents don't talk with their kids as much as in past generations. Don't play games with them or other leisure activities, singing around a piano, throwing a baseball, biking, or fishing. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I mean, I know that more parents work than did before, but I don't know if that's true, that parents aren't hanging out and talking with their kids as much. It's just different, Brandon said Patrick had stone tablets. That's right, buddy. It's exactly what I used. I had an abacus and a stone tablet, and we didn't really have science, and history didn't much exist at that time. Just there were some Neanderthals before us, but that was the only thing. Laura said, I usually watch on Facebook, but definitely subscribing for the conversation. Yeah, it's always fun to be in the chat for sure. This says parents need to spend more time talking about the real world and teaching basic life skills. Students coming to school not knowing about their local community either. Less engagement with real things in the world around them is harming them. Yes and no. Yeah, they damn sure do need to have more conversations about the real world. Tactical said, I learned about the Great Depression in real time. That is correct. Yes. Yeah, I was so excited to see FDR stand up that one time. But anyway, we probably don't spend some time talking about some real things and making sure that kids understand how things work. And by how things work, I mean, can you change your tire? Do you know some basic car maintenance? Do you know how to manage your bank account? Do you know how credit works? Do you know how car payments work? Those kind of things are important. And they should know more about that. Now, This where it says students are coming to school not knowing about local community, less engagement with real things in the world around them is harming them. No, they're kids. Okay? They don't have to be engaged. They don't have to be activists. They don't have to be protesters. They don't have to be any of that. They're kids. They don't have to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders for an agenda. So no, I don't necessarily think I think they need to know what's appropriate to their age and learn that and be focused on that. They can be aware of what's in the world around them, but you know what happens when you feed them all that shit all the time? They start tripping. That's why all these young people today are scared to death because they think the planet's going to end any day now, which is a load of shit. It's not. Surprise, the planet's going to keep spinning one way or another. You ain't done nothing, okay? But they get scared to death that any minute it's going to turn into an oven out here and we're all going to crisp up, you know? Or it's going to be like, you know, all these movies where all these disasters just start happening. You know, but life's not a damn movie, man. It's not reality. But we've got them scared to death of it. Or how about this? They don't even know what Nazis really are anymore. Everybody's a Nazi now, right? Because they don't learn real history. Maybe instead of talking about what's happening now, let's talk about what happened in the past so we don't repeat it. I don't know. You know, maybe we spend less time focused on identity and more time focused on what happened in the past and how to avoid it, you know, because look, when you hear someone, it makes me so mad today when I hear these people talk about Nazi. I'm like, man, are you stupid? You know how stupid that is? You know how stupid you sound when you say that? You even know what a Nazi is or what they did? You diminish everything when you say that stupid stuff. Pisses me off. So no, I don't need them more engaged in the community world as far as anything to do with politics, government, or anything like that. Let them learn something in civics. I don't even think they teach that anymore. Probably not safe to teach civics anymore because it might involve actually knowing how business works in the country and what actually has happened in the past and why that we have the things that we do. But, you know, if you're telling everybody, and that's the problem, when you're telling everybody, oh, these are Nazis, these are terrible people, you know, and I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. It's a bad business. It's a bad business. Don't get into it. No, that doesn't belong in school. It says parents don't hold their kids accountable. If a kid gets in trouble, parents generally deny that their kid would lie or misbehave, even though it's a normal part of child development. There are some parents like that never want to believe it's their kid. If you're the person going, my kid would never, your kid absolutely would. Yeah, no, you're not being honest with yourself and certainly not being honest about them. Because yeah, every kid at some point is a badass. I don't care how good they seem. They're going to make that moment happen. Every kid in their life has that period of time where they snap. They become somebody you're like, I don't even know you anymore. I don't even know you. I don't know you. I don't even like you. And that's your own kid. But they do. They go through, it's usually either in, you know, somewhere between 12 and 17. There's a 2-year window where your kid morphs into somebody you don't know, you probably don't like, you don't get along with, and you don't know what the hell is going to happen. But that's the moments where you got to be even closer and try to keep them, you know, reined in and remind them that, yeah, you have responsibilities and accountabilities. And, yeah, you can, you know, talk to your friends that way. You can say all that to them, but don't bring that to me because I promise you life will not be nearly as good if you piss me off. That's what I tell people about, you know, about managing money. No matter how stressful your life is, I don't care how stressful your life is, being broke will never make it better. Those are facts. And those are the kind of facts you tell your kids right there. You know, being broke ain't ever going to make it better. So, you know, you can walk through life with these rose-colored glasses thinking everything's just going to, you know, show up for you at the front door. Or you can understand that the only way you can be successful in most cases is dig in and work your ass off. I mean, that's just a fact. Now, I get it. Companies are different today. But that's another thing I think we do that's wrong. We demonize companies. Now, are there greedy people and greedy companies? You're damn right there are. There's a lot of them out there. There are a lot of them out there. But you know what? Ultimately, these companies are the ones that give us jobs and make things possible. So you can't demonize the thing that makes your world work, but we do. We do that sometimes. But back to where I was, which is, yeah, you're going to have kids get in trouble. They're going to do dumb things, and you have to own it. You have to go, yeah, no, my kid screwed up. You think I didn't go to a classroom or talk to a teacher because I did with both of my sons, and I had to go in there with my head down. Yeah, no. Look, when Noah, my oldest, was in daycare, and they called me and said he was calling everybody a fuckerhead. Sorry. Oh. I was like, I know you're not going to believe this, but I've never said that in my life. And they didn't believe it. Now they did find out a couple days later it came from another kid on the playground. But still, I had to acknowledge that he really messed up and he got in big trouble for it as well. Life has consequences. And here's a fact for you. If you don't give the safest consequence your kid will ever face is the one you give them. It's the only consequence they're ever going to get with love in it. Every consequence in the real world doesn't have love. They don't give a shit. So if you don't give them consequences, they're not going to learn how to process that when they get to the real consequences. And they're going to do what a lot of these kids do online: snap, freak out, start yelling, probably call you a Nazi. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's probably what's going to happen. And you're going to be sitting there going, what the hell, man? Because I know every parent, no parent wants to see their kid suffer. No parent wants to see their kid go through hell. Nobody does. You love your kid more than anything in the world. You don't want to see them do that. But it's the safest time for them to do it is when they have you as their guide. If you don't let them fall and then show them how to get back up, they'll never be able to get back up. You have to let them fail to show them how to get up. You can't do it from an up position. You can't tell somebody who's already up how to fail. And that's an important part of life, is learning how to fail and move forward. Maybe one of the most important parts of life is that sometimes we fail and we got to get up, brush ourselves off, and just like Natalie did, just like Natalie said. You think she didn't wreck her life? I mean, she's in and out of jail. She's on drugs. She's, taking advantage of everyone in her life, run her friends and family off. Yeah, she failed dramatically, but look what she did. Here she is. She didn't just lay down and go, I'm done. Here she is, years later, not running one but two food trucks, employing other people in recovery. That's how you overcome. But you have to be able to fail comfortably and know how to get back up before you can ever do that. And I bet you at some point, Natalie's parents let her fail and she had to pull herself up. I'm just saying. Well, that's enough soapboxing for today. Somehow, some way, we made it through. Now, I want all of you to reach out to Rich and make sure he's okay. And then when you find out he's okay, you tell him that he's going to spin the wheel tomorrow. Oh, he's going to spin the wheel. Trust me, he's going to spin the wheel. Fitz Auto. Check them out, 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock. If you're looking for a great vehicle, don't go anywhere else, or go everywhere else and then there, because it's where you're going to buy from. Especially, listen, if you've got credit problems, you've had credit problems, they're the ones that are going to help you. And look, everybody in COVID, a lot of people in that time frame, man, they hit the skids on some credit things, and it really caused some turbulence. And maybe some of these new car people want to rape you. And I shouldn't say that. I know that's not the right word to use, but man, they're going to hit you with 17, 18, 20. I've seen 24% out there. Are you kidding me? You're going to finance a car at 24%? And I get it. If that's the only way you can do it, Man, I'd still struggle with it. But if it's the only way you can do it and get back and forth to work, I understand. But if you go to Fitz Auto, you don't have to do it that way. They have great interest rates. They have fair prices. Everything that you want is there. Any kind of vehicle you need, do that. And then be sure and check out my friend Robbie over at Verity Mortgage. You can reach Robbie at 747-4657. It's 747-4657. I love the guy. He's got energy for days. He makes you feel great. Listen, a lot of times you call people about financing and purchasing stuff. It's like calling a lawyer. It seems intimidating. You're just nervous. You're anxious. Like somehow you're exposed and they can see everything through you. This guy will not make you feel that way. He is such a great teammate. He's such a cheerleader for you and your success in being able to achieve what you want in a home buying deal. And I've come to figure out when it comes to real estate, what I feel like may make me a little different than other realtors is real estate is a puzzle to me. So if you want to buy a house, it's a puzzle. How do we balance the scale of what you need and what they need and all come together and make it work? And it's a lot more involved than just negotiating a price. There's a million variables in it. Most real estate agents lack creativity. I shouldn't say most. A lot of real estate agents lack creativity. Now, it may be they're part-time. You find a lot of part-time real estate agents out there. It may be they just don't care. You know, it may be that, let me tell you what, I was helping a young lady last night, and she's going to buy a home probably in Malvern, and I'm going to help her do it. She had another realtor at one point, and I became her realtor by chance yesterday. She called Zillow to ask about a particular home, and they sent it to me. And so I started talking to her, and as we were, looking at homes last night, I began to get the story. And so I said, well, do you feel like, the experience you've had with me differs, so far from the realtor you had? And she said, 100%. She said, my realtor never sent me one house, never texted me one home to look at. I had to reach out to them. And then, it was always seemed like it was inconvenient. And I suspect it's because she doesn't want to buy a $500,000, $300,000 house. She's trying to find a nice little property for $150,000, somewhere around there. And the realtor couldn't be troubled. Well, I said, this is going to be a different experience. We're going to have a good time. We're going to look at homes till we find what you want. And we're going to get there. So, just relax. Let's have fun. And we're going to find what you want. It may take us a week. It may take us 2 months. I don't know. But we will find it. And, man, I would absolutely love to help you. If you've had an experience you're not happy with in real estate, or maybe it's going to be your first time to buy, or maybe you're thinking about selling. Boy, it's a good time. Now is a good time to sell. I'll tell you that. It's time to get your house, get ready to get on the market, because when rates drop, it's going to pop. I just made that up. So, Brandon said 580s. No, 580s will not get it done. I'm just going to be honest with you. 580s will not get a home purchase. And you're going to have to be, I've heard of people around 650 get approved. I've not seen it. I've seen 680 and above. I can almost guarantee that you'll be approved. So there are more things involved than just your credit. And one thing you need to know is, let's say the husband works and he has shitty credit, but he makes all the money. The wife maybe has a job that doesn't make as much, but has A+ credit. And you see this more often than you think. All right. You cannot put it in the wife's name and include the husband's income. Doesn't work like that. If you're including the income, that person has to be on the deal. And the reason I say that is debt to income ratio is the other part of the equation. Because when they figure out how much your monthly payment can be, they're going to base it on your debt to income ratio. What your left, what after you paid your bills, how much income is left that can be, applied to a home loan. And so that's part of it. Brandon said, mine's fair. I waited till 32 to establish credit. I'm in the 600s. That's great, man. That's great. T-Mac said, I'm almost to 800, 780, 798, depending on which credit report you look at. That is credit of the gods, honestly. And with that type of credit score, you qualify for any type of lending product that's out there. The best of the best of the best lending products is what you're going to qualify for. So pretty much any lending product you want in a home purchase, you qualify for with that credit score. There's no doubt about it. And you should take advantage of everything that score offers and make sure that you leverage it to get the most out of it. You may think, well, because I have great credit, I walk in and they just give me the best deal. That may not be the case. And you may not realize even the leverage that you do have and what you can do with it. Be surprised at when you have a score that high, how much more you can accomplish with squeezing people just a little bit. I'm telling you, man. Look, there are lots of ways to come out ahead in the home game. And I'm here to help you find every damn one of them. So listen, I'm going to spend the rest of the day celebrating my wife's birthday because, to be honest with you, she's awesome. And I like looking at her and I like hanging out with her. So that's what I'm getting ready to go do. So I hope that you guys have a hell of a day and we'll see you back tomorrow. Okay? Late?